Luke, I guess the overriding emotion on Saturday was probably relief for you guys, given that you were two up and still needed a last minute winner.
Yeah, it was relief. I think we started the game brilliantly. I think the majority of the first half was very good. But yeah, we seemed to really take the foot off the accelerator after the second goal, which was disappointing. But they did manage to regroup, and they put together some really good build-ups and good attacks in at the end of the game. And then yeah, relief really in when the ball crossed the line.
How frustrating is it, sorry, at the moment that all of the goals that you seem to concede seem to come from individual mistakes rather than from teams really slicing you open?
Yeah, that's difficult to take, but I think we would be more concerned if teams were dominating us and really tearing us apart. Of course, what we would prefer is that we don't concede in either way. I think when we have so much control of so many games, we shouldn't concede scruffy goals, if you want to call it that. But we are a work in progress, I believe. I'm sure everyone would say that, but I think for us it's true that the you can see the guys on the pitch, some young guys on the pitch, and players that didn't play too many games, and that they're doing fantastic. And I think that we would be wise to have a long term view on this group and see if we can see an improved version going forward where concentration levels are higher and anticipation is better and maybe some anxiety control is better. All these things come with time and experience. We've also got some guys in there that have got abundance of experience, but maybe not a recent history of playing regularly. You know, and those guys are facing similar problems, that they maybe get fatigued on the pitch, and once they're fatigued, they make a few mistakes, and that can build some anxiety. And I think that's where we are. I think some of the football that we've played has been spectacular, and many of our goals have been really so well worked and rehearsed, and fantastic to watch. I mean, it's a spectator sport at the end of the day, but yeah, the errors are difficult to accept, but we must accept them because we know where we are.
Is defensively, keeping clean sheets? I mean, you keep a clean sheet, you're guaranteed at least a point. But I suppose, as you say, it's a team in transition, and is that final little bit then just that last piece of the puzzle that you guys are looking to solve now?
Yeah, I think that is. I think it's something that we must get right if we want to be successful moving forward. I think that to defend relentlessly, defend and try to play only for the clean sheet. If you don't succeed in that goal, it can leave you feeling really despondent because you didn't give yourself a chance to win the game. We've seen that. We watch football in all divisions, and I'm sure we can all think of teams that defend so much, and then ultimately, if they don't win the game, they're lost. They're lost completely because they have nothing to hang on to. But with this group, they give you so much hope because they can score goals and they can control games, make fantastic actions. And so if they can become more clean at the back, we really should be excited about this group.
It's sort of hard to believe that after tomorrow night there'll only be 10 games left of the season. It's really flown by, hasn't it, this one?
Yeah, it really has. It's incredible. And I think the key for us now is to use the remaining time to really prepare ourselves for going forward. I don't think anybody at the moment is worried about dropping down. I think we feel confident in the group that they're not going to do that. I don't think we're probably confident enough that we feel like we can achieve anything substantial. But what we can do is continue to try and push our performance level so that we can be really well prepared for our next challenge. And don't waste the time now. Really try to home in on the details and see if we can start to maybe see an improvement in some of the key areas in this 11 games that we've got left, or 10 games that we've got left after tomorrow.
It feels like there's been 3 different MK Dons sides throughout the course of the season. The one that started, the one that was there between October and January, and then the team that you've got now. Where do you think you've seen the biggest areas of improvement throughout the course of this season?
Yeah, you're right. I think that's a really important point to mention. And you know, the manager has had to reinvent this team 3 times in one season without losing a style, which I think, you know, anyone in football who's been in the hot seat will know that's really an incredible achievement. I think that the team started off with huge dominance, but without being able to capitalise in and score goals. We missed a lot of chances early on, and we had the trait that seems to have remained all the way through, which is an error that has cost us games and cost us draws and defeats. I think Richard Keogh was a massive signing for us, and I think he helped establish the role of the central defender of the 3. I think he made people believe even more in being able to play even when teams were very, very aggressively pressing us. And I think now we're seeing with more young players coming in January, we're seeing a lot of exciting players that everybody, I'm sure, can see huge potential. And for me, I think it's exciting to see young players like Harry Darling and Warren. They're so brave at the back, and they're so willing to join in the build up and really create these big overloads that we see, and you know, some really fabulous goals. I think if you enjoy football, you love football. I'll be surprised if you don't like watching our goals, you know, and that means everybody joining in, and we've got these young players that are prepared to go and do that and really take part in the game. So I think this team has the most potential now that we're seeing. This has the biggest potential, the group that we've got, and I'm sure we can add to that as well, really in a smart way, and have a really a group that are full of potential, but also maybe have got that critical experience that they need to be able to actually challenge.
Must help having a guy like Cameron Jerome as well, who can pop up and snag your goals as often as he has done this season.
Oh, of course, yeah. You know, Cammy is so powerful. He's such a threat, and he's got such a belief in himself, which is something that is actually quite rare in football. There's a lot of self-doubt, and there's a lot of ebbs and flows in terms of player confidence. From one week to another, they can either be, you know, very high or very low. Cammy is, you know, he's there. He knows how good he is. He backs himself, and that's you have to have that in the team. At least, you know, one player at least who is really that headstrong like that, and that's why Cammy scores so many goals.
Plymouth then wasn't a great game down at Home Park at all, was it?
No, I think that's an understatement. I think that they were in a bad place at the time, and they came out fighting, and I think we went there maybe in the wrong frame of mind, and we never got to grips with the game. It passed us by, and there was a lack of urgency. The only thing I would say with that game was there was a really impressive response from the group, and the manager was really firm with the group, and they responded to that. They knew that he was right, what he was saying was correct, and they responded very well. And I think it was the best run we've been on following that game. So it was, as much as it was a terrible performance, it actually sparked us a little bit into life. And I think during that period that we were playing well and picking up a lot of points, we had a game in the midst of it where we played Peterborough away. We'd just lost Keysy the night before. You know, we had an injury to Warren, I think, and we played a back 3 that had never played together, and 2 guys that had never played in that back 3 at all. And we got convincingly beat on the day, but we bounced back from that. And I think the Plymouth game gave us that platform to not accept, you know, really lacklustre performances, and Hopefully we've come a long way from that game, and that it'd be nice if that's really evident tomorrow on the pitch.
I was going to mention actually, yeah, both teams really bounced back from that game, because after I think Plymouth had lost 4 in the run up to that one, and flew up the table as a result, and they're only behind you on goal difference now, and you obviously changed things around. Something must have clicked in Ryan Lowe's side as well, and they're gonna be a real threat tomorrow night.
Definitely, yeah. I think that they were a good team in a bad place at the time, rather than a bad team now that are punching above their weight. It's not the case. They're a really good side, and the manager's very very good. Of course, he's already had promotion, and you can see watching the team that there's a lot of work with their team, and he fills them with confidence. So I'm not overly surprised that they're in a good place at the moment. I think probably it was a bit more of a shock that they were going for a bad time, because you could always see that they're a good team, and that the manager has got them really well set up. It will definitely be a tough game. There's no doubt about that.
And just finally, any knocks or any injury concerns after Saturday?
No, no major concerns. I think a lot of people at the moment, as you can probably imagine, are nursing something that they're coping with and playing through, but nothing substantial. Tomorrow we're closer to actually getting guys back to fitness, as a boys going to be taking part in training in the coming days that have been out of action for a while. So that's all promising, with the running.
Are you somewhat surprised, given the hectic schedule, that you've not had more major injuries than you have?
I'm pleasantly surprised, but only because of, like you say, the schedule and the pitches. The pitches this year are worse than they've ever been, because obviously, we all understand that the situation with the world, and football clubs are not exempt from that, and they've furloughed staff and delayed maybe work being done on pitches for obvious reasons. But it does take it out of the players, and the training facilities have suffered as well. But on the flip side, we do have an unbelievable medical team. They're top. They are top drawer. The manager is open-minded, and he listens and trusts his staff, and that really is the reason why people have been able to keep rolling out game after game, and that's huge credit to them.